it's Georgia. Welcome to my front yard garden. It is fall, and today we are going to take a walk through the garden to look at what's already happening as the weather changes and what we can do to the garden moving forward to prep for the colder weather.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm the Plant Information Director at Monrovia, and this time of year the garden starts to wind down, but there's still plenty to do, from transplanting, pruning or not pruning, and even supporting critters in your garden through the colder months. Okay, so let's do a quick walkthrough of the garden. Tell me a little bit about what we're going to be taking care of today.
Yeah, so as the garden's winding down, we're gonna be doing a little bit of transplanting. We are gonna take a look at the grasses. They're kind of hit and miss this time of year. We're a little bit rainy now, so they're taking a little bit of a dive. We'll look at those.
Got some great fall foliage over here with the blueberries, and I'm loving these seed heads. They're sort of arching. Looks
yeah,
great.
These look great this time of year. And then over underneath this tree here, we've got some shade perennials like a stilby that we'll be cutting back to the ground. They're just losing a bit of their color for the season. So we'll put those to bed for spring.
That's great.
So as we walk down the stairs here, we can take a look at the snack track that is still producing fruit, and we are into October. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we obviously love blueberries for their delicious fruit, but also they're so beautiful and you get great fall color from blueberries. So really, you know, beauty and fruit from those are really, this is the bountiful blue, and it's just a beautiful fall color on this.
Yeah, and we still have berries, which is great. We just stopped harvesting them because they're getting a bit, you know, it's getting a bit cool to ripen, but they're still on there, and I think ornamentally beautiful with that fall color is nice. We still have our last strawberries that we're able to harvest.
Always the benefit of an ever-bearing variety. Depending on your climate, you might get some little snacks even pretty late in the year. So.
Yeah, this one is ever sweet, so another ever. And then next to it is this Luxus globe, which is looking fabulous.
Such a great, tidy form to pull together these more natural things, make it look a little more planned, go with, I think, this, you know, sort of structured wall, really brings everything together.
Yeah, and I like that this is a holly, so it looks like a boxwood, but it is a holly, so it doesn't get some of the, if you have diseases on boxwood in your area, not every area does, but this is a really nice replacement because it has that nice small glossy leaf and it's evergreen just like the boxwood.
Yeah, and it's so, like you said, it's glossy and so dark. I love the color of this. So this time of year, insects are starting to nest, so that's something you need to consider. So you've got the hollow stems, that's someplace some bees, in particular native bees, like to build their nests, and then also 70% of native bees actually nest in the ground. So disturbing the soil too much, cutting things back too aggressively can actually destroy some of those nests. So it is good to leave just some habitat in your garden to benefit those insects.
Okay, so maybe hold off on the fall, and then in spring, it sounds like maybe start to do more of that cleanup that I would be doing in the fall.
Yeah, I think if you know, it's nice to leave the natural look. If you're really opposed to it, you know, it's okay.
Well, I'm looking forward to building a habitat for all of the native insects that we've happily watched this summer. I'm hoping that they can have a nice winter here.
Yeah.
The ultimate question in the fall, to prune or not to prune. There are some plants that bloom on new wood, which you can easily, happily prune all you want in the fall, and then others, like this hydrangea or the rhododendron behind me, that are gonna set their buds either in late summer or now, and you don't wanna prune off those buds because you will lose your flowers for the summer or the spring. So what you wanna do, of course, you can use Monrovia.com. Those are great resources on answering questions on when and what to prune, but you can also build your confidence and take a look at the plants in your garden, because oftentimes if you look, you can see the buds, so you can tell yourself. So on this hydrangea, you can look. I like the look of the spent flower, so I haven't pruned these off, but you can definitely prune them off. And to know how far you can prune, you wanna look at the stem and you can see the buds. They're a little bit hidden, but you can definitely see them right on there. So you can prune right above that flower. On the rhododendron, they are much more visible. You can see they are right on top of the stem here. You wouldn't want to cut anything off of this rhododendron because you will lose your flowers that way. So a little clarification about the difference between deadheading and pruning. So I'm going to go through and deadhead this hydrangea, and what that means is I'm just going to take off just the top, just that top flower. If I were to prune it, that's more removing more aggressively. So I'm going to remove the dead, damaged, or diseased stems, and I might get further deep down there. I won't do that to this hydrangea because it's not the time to do it, but I might do it to other plants in the garden. But just so you know, deadheading, just removal of the flowers, and pruning is much more aggressive, more to shape. But really, you can build your confidence. Just make sure that you look at the plant that you have, and if you still have questions, of course, go on Monrovia.com or ask your local garden center and they can help you as to the question of to prune or not to prune. So we already talked about what to look for, whether or not to prune your shrubs. Now, perennials in the fall are a bit easier. Most perennials we can just cut right down to the ground. So this is an astilbe. You can see the flowers are spent, the foliage is getting a bit crispy. So just to freshen it up, I'm going to cut this all the way back down to the ground. Just gonna grab it in my hand and cut, 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 really simple. And this will make sure that we put it to bed, that this space in the garden looks nice and fresh, and then it'll give a nice new blank canvas for spring when this astilbe arises and we get a nice new crop of fresh flowers underneath this tree. As the temperatures are cool in the fall, it is a great time to transplant. We have a little bit of stuff to do today. This rhododendron is not happy in this spot, so we are going to remove it and replace it with a hydrangea Newport, similar to this one, that is going to take its spot and it's going to create a nice hydrangea hedge here in the future. This thing's probably just going to pop out. Yep. When I'm grabbing this hydrangea, I want to make sure that I'm getting enough of the root ball. I don't want to take a stab right at the plant itself. I want to go slightly around it. That way we give it a good enough chance to establish itself with its roots. Okay, so you can see I got a pretty decent root ball on this. So we're gonna bring it to this hole, and I think I'm gonna dig this hole a bit bigger. We wanna make sure it's wide enough to comfortably fit the plant inside. So I'm gonna do a little bit more digging. Let's check and see where we're at. I am happy with, I think I'm happy with this hole. Okay, so now that we have our hydrangea in the hole, you can see the difference between this one that's happy in its location and this one that was just a little bit too much sun. I think it's gonna be a lot happier here where it gets more shade. So we've dug the hole with plenty wide to fit it in comfortably, and now we're just gonna backfill it. Now that the hydrangea is planted, the next step is to water it in really well and then get some extra mulch to mulch around the base and make sure that that water stays in nice and it keeps it warm during the winter months, especially in the colder climates. And then enjoy. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this hydrangea thrives here in its new spot.
Well, Georgia, thank you so much for having me here today. I really enjoyed taking a look at your yard again, and I loved talking about how helping overwintering insects is just such an easy, simple way to increase biodiversity in your yard. And it really doesn't cost anything. It's just a shift in mindset and really doing less work than you maybe thought you had to.
Yeah, autumn is a really great time to think about our biodiversity, of course, and to just rest and reset and set ourselves up for a really lovely spring in the garden. Thank you so much for joining us. You can find more information on monrovia.com.